It's Sunday morning on CBS, and here again is Lee Cowan.
Ride Like the Wind was just one of several huge hits for Christopher Cross back in the 1980s. And though he may have stepped out of the spotlight for a while, he's still searching for that perfect summer song. Serena Altschul found him at his home in Austin, Texas.
It's not far down to paradise. At least it's not for me.
Remember Christopher Cross?
It's right, you can sail away and find tranquility. Oh, the canvas can do miracles.
In the early 1980s, his brand of silky soft rock sailed up the charts. His songs were unavoidable on FM radio. As quickly as he burst on the scene, he seemed to vanish from it.
I came through TSA, and this has been a year, maybe 2 years ago, and a woman took my boarding pass, and she said, "Oh, Christopher," she has that accent, you know, she said, "Christopher Cross." She said, "There used to be a singer named that."
No.
He passed away, but he was a great singer. And I said, "He passed away." And she said, "Yeah, so when was that?" And she said, "A few years ago, but he was a lovely singer, and I loved his music."
Ladies and gentlemen, Christopher Cross.
Luckily, reports of Christopher Cross's demise have been greatly exaggerated. The 63-year-old is alive and well and still touring. That is, when he isn't recording at his home studio in Austin, Texas.
I guess I don't ever...
Platinum. I don't want to count. How many do you have?
Oh, there's some. And they're from different countries and stuff.
So modest. For a performer, it's hard to be modest after having a year like he did in 1980. His debut album, Christopher Cross, went platinum 5 times over in the U.S. alone.
Christopher Cross.
He practically swept the Grammys,
Christopher Cross, sailing!
beating out Billy Joel, Barbra Streisand, Pink Floyd, and Frank Sinatra for Album of the Year.
It was an out-of-body experience almost, you know, just to continually go up there and try to think of something to say, because I had no prepared remarks. I like to say this is getting old, but I just can't. That's wonderful. Sailing was really never supposed to be released as a single, but I gotta say I'm really glad it was.
That night, he would take home 5 Grammys in total.
Dreaming the wind to carry me. Soon I will be free.
3 of the awards that night were for his introspective hit Sailing, which, according to Cross, isn't actually about sailing.
I picked sailing as a metaphor because I used to do some sailing with an older kind of big brother person in my life. It was sort of an escape for me as far as the chaos of my home, and for me the song is really about transition through art. So when I say the canvas can do miracles, to me the canvas is a painter's canvas. So it's about the transition that you experience through art, whether it be dance, painting, music. It's that interaction with art that we experience. But I always joke to people that if Al had taken me bowling, that it would have been like bowling, you know. But fortunately he took me to do something that was kind of fun.
The youngest of 5 in a military family that moved a lot, music was Cross's escape from a childhood that was at times chaotic.
I was the singing drummer in little bands, but I learned pretty early on that the guitar players were, and the singer was up in the front where the girls were. So I knew that's where I needed to be.
Got to move from the back to the front. Cross spent his 20s playing covers in jam bands in Texas.
Sort of like the Dream Studio.
It was during one of those jams that magic happened. His first hit, Ride Like the Wind, was born.
Remarkably, Ride Like the Wind actually started as a jam in the middle of a song by Paul McCartney called 1985 that Paul did with Wings. We used to play that song at the club, and we tried to, you know, when you had to play 5 sets a night, you'd extend things. And I started doing this jam and going ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and the crowd seemed to really react when we do it. And so I thought, wow, this is kind of cool.
In barely a year, Cross went from playing at fraternity parties to selling out stadiums.
Out nowhere in sight when the church bells rang.
What does it do to someone to have that kind of instant, meteoric rise to fame?
It's a pretty hard question to answer because on one level it's sort of fantastic and I feel incredibly blessed. But on the other hand, it was tough because it all happened so quickly that, there's no way to catch your breath or be prepared for it. You just get rushed along in this river of fame.
In 1982, he won an Oscar for Arthur's theme, featured in the Dudley Moore film, Arthur.
I was waiting to go on to sing Arthur, and Bette Midler was waiting to come present my award after I came out. She had the envelope, and I don't know her, but I was so nervous, and I said, you're so used to this, you're a big star, and I am so terrified right now. And she said, don't worry, kid, it's just you, the mic, and 70 million people.
Thanks. In 1983, Cross cracked the top 10 again with Think of Laura, his last top 10 hit. And for many, that would be the last they would hear from Christopher Cross, though he continued to put out records. Some 30-odd years, 9 studio albums, and 2 divorces later, Cross says his greatest success is his 3 children, which he acknowledges in a song off his new album. If this Christopher Cross could speak with that 31-year-old Christopher Cross, what would he say?
I don't think I really made any mistakes per se, but I think that my father used to always say, one of the tragedies of life is experience is non-transferable. And I don't think there's anything I could say to that Christopher Cross at the time. It's something that just comes with time and experience.
Today, Cross and his music are edging back into the spotlight.
But I liked Floyd.
Tina Fey even nodded to Cross on the television show 30 Rock.
It would turn out like a movie where Christopher Cross sings a song like, all my days I've been waiting.
All my days I've been dreaming.
Which he turned into a song called Lemon's Theme.
To waste those precious hours would be a pity.
Through it all, Cross seems remarkably at peace with his place in pop culture.
I wish I could go back and live it again, but at the same time, some people will ask me, what's it like to have all this early success? And to a degree, the success, it didn't continue because it was such a meteoric thing. And I tell them, I feel incredibly lucky to have had the success I've had because it established my name and I'm still out during the day and I'm here doing this incredible show, which I love. So, it's success at that level is a blessing no matter when and how it comes.